Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel. How to cope with tantrums with our toddlers, our children and our grandchildren. In this very rough time that we're going through now, and I don't mean to be negative at all, but with the lockdown, things are very, very unpleasant at times. And this is the purpose of me making this video. Because I'm a grandfather and I have 7 grandchildren, one whom I have never met yet, the youngest one being 5, next month turning 6. We're living together under one roof. And by golly, let me tell you, wow, at times I just want to blow a gasket. But the reason for me making this video is that across the world, with all nations, there are millions, most probably, toddlers, babies, teenagers that are having a very, very rough time. And it is for that reason that I've taken my experience that I've had for the past 5, nearly 6 years with my youngest one from the beginning, from his day of birth up until now. I've been involved in his life. And obviously mom, grandmom and dad. But as a grandfather, it is for me, it's very special for me. That's why I want to share this with you. Now I want you to understand, folks, there's no guarantee. No guarantee whatsoever. We're going to attempt, I'm going to explain to you what I've achieved, how I've done it, but there's no guarantee. This is not a quick fix. This is not something that you can rely on. But I used certain tactics to try and get to the bottom. Look, we cannot talk with the toddler. We cannot say, what's your problem? Talk to me. Many a times there's changes taking place in their body, and it could be growing pains, it could be organs shifting around, it could be cells or genes being made or whatever. And you and I are not always so sure what the hell is going on with us. But be that as it may, let's proceed. What I'm going to introduce to you is what I've experienced, and that is this. I haven't noticed, and it took me a long time to realize that there are certain aspects of children which is actually a red flag telling me we're in a danger zone, or we're approaching a red zone. There's problems. What I found is actually so profound to me. And by this I mean, when I am able to notice that my grandchild is on the verge of throwing a tantrum, I very diplomatically try and divert his attention and change his mind for him without him asking me to, or without his permission. That's not always possible. However, there are many a times that it does work. And what I've done was, let's first get to the bottom. Let's first see if we can understand the frustration of a child. Doesn't know how to express itself in words, could express itself with actions, which we don't want. We don't want screaming and shouting and jumping and crying, but it happens. this also happens. So this is why I say it doesn't always work. But for me, it has more often than not. The moment I see, so to say, the lava surfacing at the top of the volcano, the mouth where it's coming out, I would pull a funny face or walk into the wall or make as if I trip and fall. And by saying that, to me, is one hell of an experiment and exercise to go through. Because should I go through this and stumble and fall, I've got to make sure of safety and where I'm going to land and how I'm going to land. And if I slip, what happens then? Well, you know what? If I do and I hurt myself, what is my grandson going to do? He's going to laugh. That's going to be a hell of a joke. But that's what they want. They're so full of energy and they want to express it. So, by butting in, I have at times diverted his attention from his initial state of telling me what to do or overriding me or my authority, so to say, as a grandfather, and his eagerness to say who I am. This is me. I must say this before I forget. No tantrum is personal. Never. It's not personal. They're your blood. They're your genes. It's in them. So, that's the part that I got to accept. When it comes to me, I was born in the 1950s. Now, you believe it or not, milk was delivered in bottles at our front door. Plastic had not been invented. There were no cell phones, obviously, no TV. And I grew up very, very strict. Well, strict. There was discipline in the home, discipline in the Sunday school, discipline in the Defence Force. And I got to a stage where I felt, you know what, I've had enough. This bloody discipline is depressing. But before I completed my military service, I realized how important it is to use discipline in times of danger, of making a decision, making a choice. Yeah, I had to know. I had to be fit, I had to know the territory, and I had to know my enemy. If I didn't, well, if we didn't, we're going to see our backside. So discipline, I regard as a prescription that you get from your medical practitioner. It prescribes this out for me. I must take 1 tablet of this and 2 of that 3 times a day for a month. That's a prescription. And if I do it daily and I get to the end of the course, I could feel better. But should I stay on that in a chronic way, then I have got a problem psychologically with discipline, which I fortunately do not have. There are times that I stand firm, I stand on my ground, and there's times that I give in. Allow allow him to express his feelings, and this is important. If a child cannot express their inner feelings, whether it be the loss of something, the loss of a friend or a fight with a friend or disappointment or something like that, playing a game and losing, then they will never be able to express their feelings when they're adults. Ultimately, inadvertently, the result is very plain to see today in our world, in the state that it is in now. The hatred, the revenge, which is popping out now. Full-grown toddlers behaving like children. I hope this video is not going to be banned or taken down from YouTube or whatever social media platform I put it up on. But this is what it appears to me. I'm not going to talk politics, I'm not going to talk Christianity either. But my plea, my prayer is to every parent, every grandparent under these conditions, please give extra attention to your children and grandchildren. Listen to what they have to say. Watch them. They build up energy quicker than what you and I can ever dream of while we were young, and we've done it. And 5 minutes of me playing tag or swing ball with him, I'm done. I'm done. So, as much as what we love humor, just as much we must add that spice into their lives. This is why I say, I walk into a wall or pull a funny face or trip by the flower bed and almost with my head into the garden and the gravel, and it's one hell of a joke, and his mind has changed. And this is what a hypnotist does, most probably. He just changes our mind without our consent or without our knowing. So, my heart goes out to the millions upon millions of children who are being punished, abused, kidnapped, shouted at, assaulted. It's painful. It's painful. And we can never, ever, never, ever blame a toddler. Never. Doesn't matter what my grandchildren do. When they're under my roof or within my conversation, I never blame them. They're still little human beings growing up. And it's so important that they rather observe than being lectured. And this is why I say, the day that I can teach without speaking, there will be no more repeating. It won't be necessary for words. My life, my actions, my deeds must testify of who I am. So, I hope that you enjoyed this little chat and that you can think about it. But again, this is not the Alpha and the Omega. There is no guarantee on what I've told you about what I do. But this is my success story, and I don't always win. There are times with tearful eyes that I turn around and walk away. And that's sad. And I do that because I realize if I react now, that fighter in me, that soldier in me, that ego in me is going to come out. And I'm going to regret what I've said or what I've done to the child. So it is vitally important the manner in which I react to an action from my grandchild. In the following video, I'm going to explain to you how, in a special manner, how one can align yourself with your child or your grandchild. But for now, I trust you enjoyed it. And let's stand together, let's pray together, let's be one. Let's be I am that I am. Let's protect our children, let's love them, let's clothe them, let's feed them, kiss them and hug them. They are our future. That's all we've got, people. They are our future. Please take care of them. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you all, and bye-bye.